Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today. Today I have a layout that I've created using exclusive products from Scrapbook.com. I've used the Sprigs die set, the Nested Circles die set, as well as the Magic Mat and Mint tape to cut those pieces out. All the other paper and embellishments are from the Simple Vintage Indigo Garden collection. This is a brand new collection from Snipple Stories, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So I'm showing you the pieces I cut out. First, I cut out that big scalloped circle, and we'll use that in just a minute, and then the sprigs as well, and those will be kind of a finishing touch on this project. So I did my die cutting and stitching off camera, and so I'm just now getting things kind of, the threads tucked away, the threads tucked away on the papers that I did stitching on. So this is a piece of navy cardstock, and I'm just very, very lightly putting those down on my background paper because I'm going to do a little bit of shifting with the papers and kind of build this layout a little bit differently than I usually do. So I'm just taking those threads and tucking them around the back of the paper and adhering them in place and then setting that on my background. So I have two photos that I'm working with today. One is a 4x6, and I'm adhering that one to this floral mat, I guess, that I have cut from the 6x8 paper pad in the Indigo Garden collection. And then I'm adhering the two photos together, just slightly overlapping them, but I want it to be able to still move that whole piece with the pattern paper mat and the photos around. So I'm taking some adhesive squares to adhere this chipboard title. I wanted it to pop off the page a little bit more. Plus I found that the foam adhesive adheres better than just the adhesive that's on the back of the chipboard when it comes from the store. So I put a little bit of adhesive just on the back of that pattern paper, and I'm just picking up that circle and very lightly adhering that on. I want to be able to adjust this and make sure that I've got everything right where I want it before I start adhering things down. And most importantly, I want to make sure that I've got the space for my journaling. So I'm taking, this is another chipboard piece, and I'm just tucking that in around the photos there. I will kind of play with that for just a minute and get the placement just how I want it. I believe I tuck it, anyway, kind of tuck it in between those photos there. And then I'm just adjusting that to fit exactly where I want it to. So this is a sticker from the 12x12 sticker sheet that comes in the Indigo Garden collection kit. And I just tucked that under the photo and then added some pop dot to give it a little bit of dimension. So on the left side of the photo, I have a pop of yellow and a pop of pink, and I wanted to mimic that yellow on the right side of the photo so that the colors would be more balanced. And then anyway, so I tucked that yellow flower die cut on the right side of the photo, and then I've got a purple flower die cut that I'm going to do the same thing with on the left side of the photo, so that both of the die cuts, or I guess both embellishment clusters, have the same balance of color. So I'm just pointing out that we've got the a good color balance on both sides, and I'm just readjusting that whole cluster of photo and title and embellishment to make sure that it's placed right where I want it to, and that I've got room for my journaling strips. So now I'm going to come in with a few of the die cut sprigs from the Scrapbook.com exclusive die cut set, and I'm just using a few of these. I wanted to make these embellishment clusters on either side of the photo a little bit softer and more detailed than what they were, and so the sprigs die cuts are absolutely perfect for that. So I'm adding just a little bit of liquid adhesive when I adhere those. And now that I have the placement of everything just where I want it to, I went back with a little bit of double-sided tape from Scrapbook.com and started adhering things in place. So now it's time to adhere my journaling strips. I printed this journaling just at home on my regular Canon printer that is linked in the description box below, but really there's nothing special about the printer. You just need a basic printer, and it's just printed on regular copy paper. I cut them into strips using my paper trimmer, just a basic Fiskars paper trimmer that I have had for years. And then on the back, after I cut them into strips, I used 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape from Scrapbook.com and then I put the tape on the back, and that's where I leave it until I am ready to place it on my layout. So I'm just taking a pair of scissors and cutting each of those strips apart and removing the backing on the adhesive and just placing those where I want them. So I used a T-square ruler to line up the first strip, and then after that I just eyeball it and adhere the rest of the strips. From there, just leaving a small gap in between each of them and making sure that they're not perfectly lined up on either side. So I have just that cute little purple butterfly die cut, and so I adhered that, just tucked it there above the, I guess that pattern, the floral pattern paper mat. And then I'm just taking a little bit of liquid adhesive and adhering a few more of those sprigs. And I want them to have a little bit of movement where the leaves are, I guess the tip of the leaves. And so I'm only using a little tiny bit of liquid adhesive on the stem, and then the leaf kind of, I guess, is free to give a little bit of movement to the rest of the layout, to the die cut. So I was going to put that last little piece on, and I decided that it would have been too much for the look that I was going for. So last but not least, I need to add the date to this page. And so I'm just cutting out this label sticker from the sticker book that comes with the Indigo Garden collection. And I'm just going to stamp the date on there using some black Scrapbook.com ink and put that on my layout. And I thought in the beginning that I wanted that label tucked up above the photo, kind of in that circle. And then once I placed it there, I didn't like the placement very much. And so I carefully removed that and put it down at the bottom. So thank you so much for stopping by. I will leave a link to all of the supplies that I have used in the video description below. Make sure you check them out over at scrapbook.com. I know that you will love them. If you haven't done so already, I would love to have you as a new subscriber here on my channel. I upload videos every Sunday and then usually one or two throughout the week. And I have some more fun videos planned and coming up. So thank you again for spending part of your day with me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you again soon.